Hey girl, hey, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a look and review for you guys on the ABH and Jackie Aina collab. Look at this palette. I don't know, this screams extra to me. It screams Jackie. I love Jackie. I'm really happy for her. Congrats, boo, on your collab. You deserve it. Now we're gonna be talking about the price point. We're gonna be, talking about how some of these shadows perform. I am gonna be just holding this up and comparing it to the Modern Renaissance for you guys, because believe it or not, I heard a lot of people talking about how similar this is to the Modern Renaissance and the Norvina palette, and we'll get into that in just a bit. Now, if you enjoy finding out whether or not products are worth your coins, subscribe, join the gang. I love to do beauty reviews for you guys because I want to help you guys save some money. So this palette right here is a cool $45, which is pretty standard for ABH palettes. And this is what the colors look like. I've already dipped into this. I couldn't help myself. I'll put an insert for you guys so you can see what some of these shades really look like. And they are really beautiful in person. I just want to say that they are gorgeous. Some of the pictures online didn't really, tickle my fancy as far as making me want to buy the palette. But I was like, you know what? Let me just see what's going on here. Try it anyways, because I don't want to miss out if this palette sells out, Now, let me just show you what the Modern Renaissance palette looks like. This is it right here. I've had this palette for a while, but to be honest with you, not all of these shades are friendly for those of us with deeper skin tones. So I tend to stay away from this palette. But this right here has a lot of shades that you can use. Even that pink shade that you see right there called Supreme, that is actually a beautiful transition shade or a main lid shade on my skin tone. And as you can see here, I don't feel like these palettes are similar at all. I mean, yes, there are a little bit of some pinks, but I mean, that's about it. I've also found that the actual formula is a little bit different. This palette is easier to blend than the Modern Renaissance. The colors come up more pigmented, so I really do give it up to Jackie for, bringing that pigment game, because we need it for those of us that have deeper skin. So I'm not gonna keep you for too long. I'm gonna bring you in closer and we're gonna do a really nice eye look. Well, hello there. You're like really close. You can probably see all my pores. So for primer, I'm gonna be using the Balm Put a Lid on It. I personally like this primer because it really holds the shadows without making my eyelids feel kind of like dry and cakey. I don't know if you guys get that, but I hate that feeling. Now first, I'm gonna go into this shade right here. It's called Ginger. For me, it's like such a beautiful transition. And you know why I like this? Because it's subtle, but it's warm, and it will warm up the lids so nicely, but it doesn't look harsh, right? And it's the perfect starting point for either a neutral glam, or if you want to pack on another darker or more intense transition and build it up for more of a dramatic look. So now in my outer V area, I'm going to add edges, and this is a really great starting point for kind of building up color in the outer corner and also taking it just a little bit into that transition. And I just want to say, look, you guys, that blends out so nicely. You can pack it on, you can blend it out. But the best thing is the quality is really there. So I feel like this is a palette that you're gonna really be using because the quality is just on point. Now, before I go ahead and deepen the outer corner even more, I really wanna try this shade right here, Sponsored. It's such a beautiful color, and I don't usually go for these types of colors at all. But I really want to try something different for you guys, showcase some of the non-neutral glam shades in here so you can really, get inspired by a look. I mean, this is so cool. It kind of is like a little bit of that duochrome vibes. You've got a little bit of that green, but then occasionally you catch flashes of red in it. Very interesting shade. Okay, so now I've got a little bit of a denser brush here. This is a Morphe M506, okay? And I want to use this to pack just a tiny amount of the shade Credit. I love these shade names. And I'm gonna go ahead and just pack it on the outer corner just to slightly deepen it. I don't want it to be too dark, but yeah. Now I went ahead and did my liner and lashes off camera, and my liners are never exactly the same. Both of my hooded eyes have different shapes, and look, this one's a little chunkier than this one. This is like the good child. This is like the child that like messes up. But anyway, I'm gonna do something different today. You guys almost never catch me doing this, but I'm gonna be lining my lower lashes. This is a purple liner from Lancome. It is in the shade Ampoule. And before that dries, I'm gonna dip my brush in the shade Big Wig. These names make me laugh so much, and then I'm going to use that to smoke it out. Okay, so I went ahead and put on my lashes off camera and finished my lips. Now this is a dramatic look that I typically do not do. I'm more of a neutral slash natural glam, but I really wanted to try something different for you guys. I mean, this is like bam, okay? I look awake. So let's talk a little bit more about this palette. This is not the actual first time I'm using this. Last night I tried 2 different looks on my eyes using various different colors. I really wanted to get a really good feel for how this palette performs. So the transitions, Ginger, Edges, and Supreme, which could be a main lid slash transition, these perform really well. In fact, all the mattes perform really well, easy to blend. However, there is not a lot of fallout, which I love, because previous formulas from ABH have had a lot of kickback in the pan, a lot of having to tap off the excess or doing your eyes first, which can be quite annoying. But this to me has been one of the best ABH formulas that I've encountered. It just keeps getting better and better. I think it's even better than the Soft Glam. Now Soft Glam is a wonderful palette, but there are some of these shimmer shades even that come off with a lot of fallout, and you do have to be a little bit careful. All these shimmer shades that I've used so far, so I've used Sponsored, Lituation, Wiggley's, Zam, and Soleil. They have lots of pigment. Now they don't have a lot of kickback in the pan, and they don't have a lot of fallout on the cheeks. Now I do have to say this, I mean, don't be reckless. You know, definitely tap off any excess, stuff like that. But I found that this one has the least amount of fallout slash kickback, which I'm really enjoying. In fact, for having used this palette 3 times already, this is not a lot of kickback at all, and I didn't like clean the palette before showing it to you guys. Now the only shade that I've been slightly disappointed in was Wiggley's, and this is this beautiful red shade here. It is stunning, don't get me wrong, but I find that this is a shade that really does best when you use your finger to pack it on first and then use a brush for more detailed work. When I used a wet brush or even just dry, it just didn't translate on the lid very well, and I don't know why that is. But when I use my finger, it went on really nicely. So that's just a slight tip for any of you guys that are purchasing this palette and are wondering, wow, like, I love this red shade, what's going on here? So let's be honest, do I think this palette is worth $45? Yes, but it has to be for the right person. You have to like experimenting with color. Yes, you can do some neutral slash natural looks with this, but I feel like that it wouldn't really be worth the $45. There are some really beautiful shades in here, and I really think that if you dig these shades, you can make the most of it. Like, look at this, Trust Issues. That's a bomb shade, like a really bomb inner corner highlight. In fact, let's put it on right now. I mean, look at that, like totally transformed the look. And you know what? It's actually not an icy white color that it looks like in the pan here. It's more of like champagne-y, iridescent, you know, color, and I think it complements the skin so well. I mean, there's nothing like an inner corner highlight to really like spice things up and draw attention to the eyes, especially if you're somebody like me who has naturally hooded eyes that look smaller in general. This really makes them look like bright and open. Now, if you enjoyed this video, definitely check out some of the videos right next to me. There are some bangers in there that you don't want to miss out on. As always, I love you guys. Thank you so much for kicking it with me.